Social media is manipulating black culture, and most people don't realize it's happening. Like, nah, seriously, think about this. What type of black content goes viral the fastest? Drama, humiliation, gender wars, ignorance, violence, chaos, embarrassment, division. Meanwhile, content about financial literacy, stable families, discipline, ownership, mental health, building community, that stuff barely gets pushed. Why? Because negativity is profitable. And this is the dangerous part. The algorithm does not care about what's healthy for culture. It cares about what keeps people emotionally addicted.
Look, I'm just going to say what everybody else is thinking. Something is off with us, and it's been for a while. You see it the second you open up a TikTok app or you open up any type of social media apps, even when you walk out your front door. The music that we're listening to is toxic. People are walking around crashing out, and our young ladies are literally being pushed to fight each other and tear one another apart just for clout. The system is only getting rich off of our worst moments. Just turning a community that used to have each other's back into a war among us. And the craziest part about it is going to get worse. Look at what we're feeding our minds every day. The real problem starts right there. The stuff that you watch, the music that you listen to, and the apps that you scroll on, it has absolutely no substance anymore. Think about the last time you listened to a new song that actually had soul and a message behind it. You thought about it for weeks and you felt good for weeks. That's not happening anymore. Look at what's happening inside the music of black culture right now. If you look back decades ago, the songs were telling our stories. It kept us grounded, and it just gave us a reason to hold our heads up because we connected through music. But look at what the music industry has done to it today. They don't care about original human creativity or talent anymore. It is an organized system designed to just monetize our dysfunction and divide us. The industry pushes tracks that promote nothing but violence, crash out behavior, and materialism. They take the soul completely out of the music now and they replace it with a continuous trauma because they know violence and conflict sells. They promote these toxic tracks to keep us brainwashed. So it's turned a culture that used to unify us into something now that's breaking us apart. It's just tearing us down. Just look at how the internet targets these young black ladies. Right now, the system promotes division, comparison, and toxic behavior. It doesn't want our young women to build each other up. It wants them tearing one another down on camera just for viral engagement and clicks. You can't even post a harmless, innocent video with you cooking or talking about your day without people tearing you down. You have young ladies out there ripping one another's heads off all over nothing. What is up with all of that? What's going on? The women fighting one another for no reason now. Why are they even promoting women to fight one another? That's what I don't understand. It's not cool. I understand boxing is a sport, but I'm seeing more and more women fighting as a hobby now. And it's not okay. We have to get back into our feminine area. Y'all are too pretty to be out there fighting each other. The internet is making us so hostile now. It forces young women to view every other woman as a threat or an enemy instead of a sister or a support system. Something feels completely off with everyday life right now. We don't even trust our own neighbors now. Think about how many of us grew up with an auntie or uncle on the block who wasn't really your relative, or a neighbor who would feed you when your mom or your parents were working late. Somebody who would just check in on you because they saw you outside too long and it was just entirely too late for you to be outside. That's gone now. Now kids are growing up not knowing a single adult on the street. Now you have to worry about your neighbors calling social services on you if you spank your kids now. But some of these kids need whoopings. They're as bad as I don't know what now. But anyhow, our elders, they used to hold everything together. They knew everybody's name. They knew everybody's kids. They told you who to look out for on the street. They just knew everybody's business. Now, half of us, we don't even know who lives next door, not 2 houses down. And once that goes, everything else starts falling apart behind it. Because when you don't know your own neighbor, you don't look out for your neighbor. And when nobody's looking out for nobody, everybody's on their own. So being disconnected from one another, not only the people around us, we act like that's just how it is now. But it shouldn't be that way. It's not just how things are. I know better than this. It's a trap. We let these apps and the internet convince us that we don't need each other anymore, that everybody's just on their own now. We have to realize that the disconnect, that's the strategy. A community that's isolated and doesn't ask questions, a community that doesn't trust one another, they can't organize and they can't hold one another up. They don't want us knowing our neighbors because they want us alone with our phone in our hand and on the internet. And another thing that we have to realize is that this hostility is the industry strategy. The system monetizes on Black trauma and aggression. And right now, it's looking really good for them. So at some point, we have to just wake up and just look at the game for what it is. The system wants us hostile. It wants our young ladies out here acting a fool and acting unladylike. And it wants us crashing out. Because when you're too busy fighting each other, we're not focused on what's really going on. So when you listen to that toxic music, the viral fight videos, and the drama on the internet, and you say, you are not about to use me for entertainment, and step back into your soft era, and you win. Because your softness and your ability to just connect with other sisters, that's a beautiful thing. And it's the one thing that they can't colonize or put a price tag on unless you allow them to. So lock in on your own mental clarity, hold on to your grace, and don't allow a broken culture to break your spirit. Modern life, it definitely sucks right now, but it doesn't have the power to change who you are. So if you've been looking at the culture and noticing the same exact issues out there lately, tell me your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.